Hello and welcome to another exciting tutorial, ladies and gentlemen. In this one, we're going to look at integrating PayPal and Stripe into your e-commerce website. So in case you want to make an e-commerce website, this is the thing for you on how you can connect the payment method to your e-commerce. So this is going to focus more on the payment method than the e-commerce website itself, because I already have tutorials on the e-commerce itself that centers on that mostly. So this is for the payment method really. So you can have PayPal and Stripe, so that Stripe accepts cards while PayPal accepts PayPal payments, of course. So to create in this particular video, because there'll be two parts to this video. Part one is the UI where we design the visual interface. Part two is for the PHP side where we make everything functional. So what software we're going to use to create the UI is the software I created myself. So it's free to use, of course, and you can find it on app.freephptutorials.com. So there's a link in the description. You can just click that instead. And that way you can do what I'm doing to learn how to use it. Okay, so here are the pages we're going to create. The first page is where this one we're adding the product. So it's going to look something like this for the add product section. And then there will be a login page. Of course, we need to be able to log in. Then there will be a sign up page. So the images, of course, you can change to whatever images you want. It's very easy. It's a click of a button. And then there's a checkout page here where it shows you what's in your cart, and you enter your billing details and all that. And then we have our actual cart now, which shows you what you have in your cart. And then this is the shop page that shows you the actual content of the website, what products are being sold and at what price. This is the home page. Only difference is it has an image here. Actually, this doesn't look like the actual home page. Let me see here. Looks like something is missing. I think this was should have shown this one, yes, which has my local shop there as well. Let's try and preview that. Let's click on preview, and there we go. So there we go. We have our home page over here. Checkout, cart, shop, home page, and then finally we'll have a dashboard for the admin section where you can manage your products and see what orders are like down here, what orders are there and where you have to deliver them. All right, so the important part here is I want you to see how we connect once a user makes a payment, how does your website know exactly how much they've paid and if they have paid at all. That way it will show you whether the thing was paid for or not, and so on. Anyway, so what we're going to do is let's start creating our home page. So I have a list here of things that we will need to create in this tutorial. So it always helps to write things down before you start doing them so that you know exactly the scope of work. That way you know what to put where. So here we'll have a main menu that will have home, shop, and contact us. Those are the two things. Maybe we can add user profile and all that, but we can add login and sign up maybe in the footer and not up here. Okay, so we'll have this on the top menu, and maybe we can have the cart as well. I almost forgot that. All right, so then we will have a sign up page so you can sign up. Now, the users on this e-commerce website will not need to sign up and create accounts whatsoever. We'll just have them buy the things and then they will be sent an email to tell them of their order. All right, so I did that to simplify things so I don't have to put the members area and all that. This tutorial is not really about the e-commerce website more than it is about the PayPal. So we are focusing really on the checkout system, PayPal and Stripe. Okay, so login page sign up page, home page, shop page, admin page. There's also the add products page, etc., etc. So we're going to create all these pages using this website here. So I want to start with the main page. So let's start with the home page and design that real quick. Then we can go to our login and sign up pages, etc., etc. All right, so with the home page, what we really need first of all is a header. So I'm just going to click on add element here, click add element, and let's go to headers. There's only one header for now, but every time I make something new, I'm going to add to this library here, and eventually I'll give you a way to add your own as well to this library as I'm still coding for that. But for now, we just have one header, so let's choose what we've got. So there it is. This is our header right there, and what we need is the pages: about us, contact us. These look like reasonable pages, so select the home page right here, and what I'm going to do is duplicate this item. So right click on the item and just say duplicate, and maybe duplicate one more time, because I want to add I want to add the shop and the cart. So those are the two duplicates I added. So here I'll grab this one, just click in there and edit to say shop, and then this one here, edit to say cart. Now I want these guys to move away. These should come first here, so I'll shift select these two, right click and move to bottom, so they come to this section here. So there we go. We have our menu here, and it's actually responsive. So if I click on responsive design view and then go squeeze it like that, you see this is what happens. Now the thing comes in like that, so it's quite responsive as well. So great, we have our thingy here. Now I can click on this Cooper collab and then go to where we have images here, and I can choose any image to work as a logo. So maybe we can use this bag or something, or any other logo. Are there logos here or something? I don't know. So we can choose any of these logos as a placeholder, of course, because you're going to have to put your own logo there. Doesn't really matter what we add. Let's not waste time on this. And there it is. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so here we have our header. And for now, because I'm going to be using this header quite often, I want to save this as a project so I can import it later to my satisfaction. Okay, so what I'll do here is click on that and say save. What do I save this as? I'm going to call it ecom header. So give it a name that you like. Alrighty then, this is great. So hopefully that's saved, because the program still has a bit of bugs, so bear with me if there's some bugs that you see there. Okay, so now that we saved that header, we can go ahead and add more to this. So what I want is, I want to add in an element like an image. So we just want a large image here. So I'm going to go to components, click on image, and there we have an image. So if I click on that image here, I can then go to width and then just remove, or not remove, but change that to % and change it to 100. That way it goes full 100%. Then if I select it, I can always just enlarge it to the size that I want. If you want more precision, go to height, and right about there, you can click what you want. Let's move it to 400 pixels in the height, like so. Then if you click on the image, and then you can now select an image that you want, maybe in the food section here. Doesn't matter which image we can put here, just select one image and let's have it there. So here is our e-commerce website. Okay, hi user there, good. You can also change the image here if you want of this. Just click on that image thingy and change it. Let me close that. Now let's click and select. Be careful when you are inserting things, because whatever you've selected is where the object is going to be inserted. So make sure you click on the outskirts here so you don't actually add something within something else. Okay, great. So now down here, I want to create that a panel down here that has the products. So I'm going to add an empty div. Let's add an empty div here. So there is our empty div. Now, if I click on properties, so I can see the properties thing back if I had clicked close. And by the way, you always have this tree here that shows you what you have in your scene. So here we have a canvas, which is the actual canvas. Then we have a header, and this is all that's contained in the header. As you can see, these A tags in there, these are the links. There's a div that holds them. There's a div that holds an SVG and an SVG path here. There's a div that holds an image in the corner there. So as you hover on these things, you see the selector selecting the right item you are on, like so. And then there's this image, this large image. I can click on that to select it. And I can click select parent to select its parent if it has any. In this case, it doesn't. So let me close that just in case you get lost. So I'll click on this, click on properties as well again, and go to width. Then over here, I want to change this to 100% again, so it goes all the way down there. I want to remove its height. That way the height is auto. So I'll leave it like that for now. And what I want to do in here is add in a new div, so an empty div in there. Now I can't see it, but it's here. If I hover on it, I can see it there. So let me simply change the background color of the main thing here. I'll click properties, go up to BG color, and then adjust that color over there like so. So I'm just going to leave it at EEE there, so not completely white. This guy here, I want to change the width to something like maybe 280. Let's try that. The height, of course, I want that automatic. So, or maybe we can give it a fixed height. You can simply click and drag this thing to give it a height that you actually want. So let's move it down a little bit like so. Okay, great. I want its background color completely white, so let's go and just click that white over there. Great. Let me add a little border radius on this thing. So let's add border radius of 10. And then let's make sure it's not percent but pixels. So click on percent and pixels back and forth just to make sure. And then we can go to shadow. I want to give it very slight shadow. So box shadow, put a 30 here. And you can see the shadow there. But let's make it very, very light. So let's go lower. You can add transparency to colors if you want. But in this case, I just want to move it like so. All right, so if I close that, this is what I have so far. So at any point, you can click on preview page, and then it will show you a preview of what you've got. So this is what we have so far, and one product down here. Okay, great. So far, so good. Let's click in here and let's add more content. So I want to add an image. So go to components and add an image there. There is the image. Very good. Now I want the image to do the full width, to be full width image there. So what I'll do is go back to properties, and I want its width to 100%. Let's put 100 again. So it's leaving a gap between its parent and this thing here and itself. So what I want to do is select the parent and remove the padding that's there. So click that X to remove the padding so it fits throughout. Then while the parent is selected, I want to change its overflow to let's see here, instead of visible, because I want the border radius to show. But anyway, the border radius is not so important, so maybe let's leave this out of the game. But I want the text in here to have some padding. So what I'll do is, while this is selected, I will add an empty div. So I'll click on empty div there, go to the width and remove the width, because once you remove the width of a div, it goes all the way to the end. Let's also remove its height, because we don't need a fixed height there. Now I want to add some content in there. I'll leave that color like so, just so I can see it. So I'm just going to add some elements. So I'm going to go to components. Let me add an H1. That will be the title of the product, but maybe that's too big. So let's delete that. Let me add again. Let me add an H2 instead. I think that's more reasonable. So I'm just going to say my product 1, because we're going to duplicate this a few times. So I'll like it to be like that. Let's get back to business. Let's add, make sure you selected the actual div, and let's add an H1 again. And then also let's add a button. All right. So this one will be the price. So I'll just put $99 like that. And that should do. And then the button here, I want it to go all the way there. So I'm just going to do that. You can just tell it to go all the way. Just remove the width, maybe put 100% as always, like that. That would be better. And then let's change that to add to cart. Now the problem here is, for some reason when you're typing in a button here, it doesn't leave spaces. So let's just use underscore for now. We're going to edit it later directly in our text editor. So I'll just say add to cart. And let me add some border radius as well. So go border radius. Let's add up to 30 so that it's very, very rounded. And here I will select the brown thing and simply remove its background color. Then the text is gone, but let's make sure the color of the text is black so that we see that like so. Okay, so now we have this, but it seems to be going overboard here a little bit. So what I'll do is select the container here, right click on it and say select parent. That way it selects the box outside here. And let's remove its height because I think it has a fixed height. Let me just cancel that. And then it goes all the way, which is great. Now these guys are leaving too much gap here. So these are H1 and H2 tags. I think they come with margins and paddings. So I'll just attempt to add 1 pixel padding and then put it back at 0. Then it will do that. So I'll put 1 and then put it back at 0. Don't go to the negatives. Yeah, that will bring it back home like so. Okay, maybe that was a bit much. What else can we do here? Nah, I think this works just fine. This is just for, we don't want it to be intricate and all that. So I'm going to go here and try to add a product. So instead of just food there, let's see here. Maybe this is a food thingy, who knows. So let me just add that there. That's one product there. That's great. My product 1, good. So make sure you select, let me right click on one of these, select parent until I select the main div here. Oh, I can use the tree. So with a tree, I can just select on any of these, the parent div, and then there's this main div here. So if I click on it, it selects that. Then I can go back here and say margin. By the way, this is movable anywhere you want. And you can go to view and reset the properties panel page to take it back there. Also, you can reset the tree panel thing to take it back here. So keep that in mind. Now that it is selected, I want to go to margin and give it a margin of, also make sure it's not on ems but on pixels. Maybe M is actually good because I can use smaller numbers like that. So maybe 1M should be fine. Okay, so great. This is looking good. Now that we have this product thingy let's put a cursor on this thing so that cursor should be a pointer. That way when they hover on it, it becomes like a pointer like so, which is quite nice. All right. So with this done like this, now I can duplicate this a couple of times. Let me close this and close that as well, so that we have a few more of these things. So while the main box is selected, I will go here to edit and say duplicate, and duplicate, and there it is. So I'll duplicate this a couple of times, 2, 3, 4. So there we go. We have 4 duplicates, but they're going down this way, and that's because our they are divs and their display is block. So we can either change the display to inline block, that would work, and then change the what's this? This mother or the parent to text align center. That will work just fine. Or what we can do is we can use display flex and then justify our content. Either way is fine. So maybe what we can do, let's try the old-fashioned way. So what I'll do is, let me delete all of them. So I'm going to select the parent, delete, click on this one, select the parent, which selects the whole thing, delete, select again, select parent and delete. Now we have one last one, select parent and delete. It's easier to just work on one and then do a copy. That's always better. So let's go to select parent, and in this one I want to go back to properties and then go to display. So display is here. We can use inline block instead, and then select the parent and go to text align center, and as you can see it goes to the center now. So if I select again and tell it to select the parent and then do a duplicate, I'll go to edit and duplicate, 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 duplicate. That's better. So let's add one more duplicate, shall we? A duplicate. Awesomeness. So I'll go to this other image, click on it and go to images. Where is this image? And click on that, and let's go to products and let's see what we can add here. So I'm just adding random stuff here, not really very useful, just to see what we can come up with. These are products on the store. Maybe cell phones a little bit here. It doesn't look too good. Let's see what looking better. More cameras. Let's add some food as well. So go to food. Let's add something foodie here. Maybe that. Okay, doesn't really matter what images you add, but this is what we get. Okay, very good. Very, very good. So also I forgot to add some, I should have done that earlier, some hover effects, but we're not really into that. We'll do that in other tutorials. So the main thing is to get the functionality done. These design issues can work out later. So I'm going to say save as. So instead of ecom header, this one is ecom homepage, like so. And let's save that baby. Shave. Okay, sure, she's shaved now. Very nice. Oh, I forgot the footer down here. Okay. Now, it's up to you if you want to add a footer. Usually I don't see the need, but maybe we may want to add login and sign up pages down there. So let's add it. Why not? So select this final guy here, but I want to select the very edge here. So I don't select this thing. I could put the footer in here, but I want to put it outside. So click outside this thing so that nothing is selected. Now, if you're unable to clear the selection, just go view and clear selection right there. So let's add something, an empty div as always. So let's go to empty div, So that's our div there. Let's click on properties and let's go to our background image. This one, I want it very dark, but slightly move it up like so. Okay, so this is 3F, 3F, 3F. So that's the number there. Color, let's make sure it's white. And let's remove the width, of course. So out. And let's add more padding. So padding here is 10 pixels. Let's crank that up to 20. Okay, so that now that we have that, we can then add some extra divs in there. So I'm going to add new element, another empty div. So there is the empty div there. So this thing has a height, fixed height. So I'm going to go to height and remove that. That way it accommodates everything as it should. And then in here, this one I have selected, I will remove its width thingy there. That's great. And okay, just for the sake of us seeing what's going on, I'll leave it like that. But I want to duplicate this a few times. But before I do that, let me just add some text in there. So just say add, go to components, and let's add maybe just some normal div text, right? Click, and these will be some links. So maybe not this, maybe let's add actual links, shall we? I'll click add and go to link and click link there. So select that link. The text color is invisible, so let's click white so we can see it. You can also go to text decoration and remove the text decoration if you don't like the underline there, but I'll leave it for now. So here we'll have links like login, and from there I want to simply I wanted to duplicate this. So what I would do is, let me go to display. Let's remove the display here and change that to block. It's already on block, but that's just the default value. So put inline and then get back to block. That way it actually cements the block. Now, like I've always said, if you don't like some style that's happening here, just go down here to any element you've selected. The styles are written down here, so you can always edit them at any given moment. So this goes all the way, and that's what I wanted. So from here, login, let me duplicate this baby. So I'm just going to say duplicate, and here this one I'll change to sign up. And you can add more links as you wish. So here, let's duplicate one more time, and let's just put shop here. Yeah. Now I want more gap between these guys, so I'll shift select all of them and then go to margin. Where is margin? Here. Margin top and bottom. So let's add margin top, maybe 10 pixels. That's way too much. Let's add 1 pixel. I think it's using M's for some reason. So let me click back and click back like so, and then move that. So just use the scroll mouse to do this. Okay, so maybe 8 pixels, somewhere there. That's entirely up to you. And also select the parent, go to height, and make sure you remove the height so it actually adjusts to the content. Okay, so there are links in here, which is awesomeness. But then I've selected the parent, which is the whole container. And then this time I want to duplicate it maybe 3 times. So here I'm just going to say duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. So we have 3 of these babies now. And all I want to do with these guys is select the parent. I want them side by side. So select the parent, go to display. Where is display here? Display, and display, let's use flex instead. So there it is. We have flex on all of them, which is nice, but they are not going the full width. So let's see, justify content, space between, let's try space around. Okay, that could do actually. Or where is that? Space evenly. So it's up to you. You can select whatever you want here. Space around seems fine for me. So then you can edit these guys as you wish. And then you can also put some width to these guys. So let me select the parent. These are the containers, not the text inside these containers in here. Let's go back to properties. And what I want to do is, let's say width here. I want to give them a minimum width so that once they reach that width, they go slide up and down. They'll change direction. So let's try 300 pixels. So make sure it's on pixels like so. Yeah, so 300 pixels is like the minimum width. That's okay. And then let's select the main parent, the black thingy here. And what I want to do with that is go to the display. It's already on flex, but let's say flex wrap should be wrap. So let's select no wrap first and then get back to wrap. That way they will wrap around if they exceed their limit. So let's try this and go to responsive view. I want to see how that responds. And as you can see, wait, where are these babies going? I really can't see them. Okay, there we go. So there's one here on top of the other, and now there are two on top of each. We can't really see them because there's no margin between them. So just select them. Don't select the text inside, just the boxes. And let me close that. I'm going to go back to properties, and I want to add a little bit of margin, maybe just 2 pixels. I think margin top and bottom would be better. So let's add 1 like so. Okay, maybe 2 pixels, just good enough, and 2 pixels on the bottom. This one went to M, just put it back on pixel. And let me close that. Let's go back to responsive view and let's see what we've got here. So if I get down to responsive view, now you can clearly see what's going on, how they are being responsive as we hit the target. So as you can see, this is a fully responsive site. Now I don't like the colors they have here, so I'm going to shift select all of them here. I just wanted to be able to see them. So let me close the responsive view section, click on properties, and let's go to background color and close that. Just click the X to remove background color, and there we go. So some of these are being stubborn. So let me select them individually. I don't know why. Let's remove that, and let's remove that. Software is hard when you're first beginning. It has a lot of bugs, so I'm yet to fix some of the bugs that come up. But anyway, this is what we've got so far. Pretty good. We have a footer, and we have, so you can type other things here like terms and conditions. Yes. Terms of use. I don't know. Just edit these to suit your needs. So there we go. Now I can simply say save this guy. Now I found that sometimes the save button just doesn't work as I would like it to work. So let's do a save as homepage 2, just to be sure. Save as always works. So there we go. All right, so we finally have one page here. Now we can go to the next page, which is the shop page, and all we need for that is to simply edit, remove this image right here, and that will solve our problem here. Now also another thing is you may want here to change this. Maybe you want to let's see here. Maybe you want to put some text within this box. Maybe you want to write something here. What you would do is, instead of an image here, you would put a box. So let's try that instead. So I'm just going to delete this image here against my better judgment. So I'm going to delete that. So let's clear the selection again. So clear selection. And let me add a empty div instead. So empty div goes up down here, but let me right click and move it to the top. So it's right there. Let me move it down one step, and yeah, actually that's where I want it. So back to properties, I want to remove its width. So then it goes full width. and we had a height of 400 pixels for our previous thingy. So let's put 400 like so. And then in this case, what you would do is go to the background image, and here we put the normal image, here we put background image. So let's get back to the food section. Where is that food section again? We are right there already. So I'll click on that, and this will give us a background image here. But as you can see, it repeats by default. So what you can do is change the background repeat. Where is this background repeat? You can say no repeat, and then you see that. And then all you have to do is add background sizing. Let's put 100%. So let's put 100 here, but use percent. That way it goes all the way like so. So the advantage of doing things like this is now you can add text in this div because it's essentially an empty div. So I'll click on that and go to components and click on H1. Now we can have a title of website. So we can say my e-commerce, my e-shop. Let's just call it a definite name. Let's say my local shop. Let's do that. And I can always change this to text align center if I want, like so. Then if you don't like the size of the text, you can always increase it with font size. So let's do 40, like that. And then you can add more content, like some more text, let's say div text, or maybe some h2 text or h3 text. That's entirely up to you. And then you can add, this is the best shop this side of town, come for products you've never seen. Okay, so let's change that as well to text align center, something like that. All right, so at least we have a website that does something that looks like a website. So let me save this again. I'll do a save as. Instead of page 2, I'll put e-commerce homepage 3 and save. Okay, so there we go. This is good. Now what this means is because I've saved, I can always open this. Let me go and preview this actually. So let's go to preview. There we go here. And there it is. So this is in an actual browser, and this is how it looks like. Not bad. Okay, so at least we have something we can add to cart. We have products here. Now we need to go to the shop page here. So let's just save this as shop page. So I'm just going to say save as ecom shop page, like so, and then hit let me just cancel this. I'll save it afterwards. So I'm just going to click this and delete. Oops, I forgot I removed the delete from the keyboard. That's because when you're typing in here and you hit delete, it actually deletes the element. So I thought that was very inconvenient. So what I'll do is edit and click delete here, delete. And there we are. We have the shop page, as simple as that. So this is the shop page. Let's save this as shop page, like so, and hit save. Very good. So now we have the shop page, etc., etc. So if I go here, I can reload my page from here. So there it is. Then I can open without closing the other one. I can open. So there's ecom shop page. If I click, there it is. You see it. And if I open again and ecom page, home page, there it is. Very nice. Let me see if it had saved the other ones as well. Let's go to page 2. Okay, so it looks like it was doing a good job saving actually. I was just afraid, I guess, of the unknown. Alrighty then, so we close that, and now we want to create the cart page. So cart page here, what I'll do is I'll just save as this one here. So I'll do a save as because I still want the header and the footer, but I want the middle part as well. Or what I can do is select everything inside here and delete. I should probably have a button for that where I can select an element and clear the insides real quick. I think that will save time, because here what I need to do is to delete these things one by one. So I just say select parent, delete, select parent, delete, and I think this can actually become a nightmare if you have a lot of repeated stuff. So there we go, select parent and delete. I have a feeling it's going to crash when I delete this last one. And there it is. Anyway, so I'll select this div in there that I've left out, and let me do file save as. This one is the cart page, like so. So that's our cart right there, and hit save. Awesomeness. So I'll select this, and what I want to add is a table in there because the cart wants a table. But first of all, let's put an h1 tag to say, oh, this is our cart. So let me change the color to black, and let's do cart like that. Okay, select the parent again. Let's add a table. So I'll click add element. Let's go to tables and add table. So there we go. I'll close that, and we have a table. Very nice. So let me save this just to make sure we are saving. And I should probably have a name somewhere here to remind me what project file this is, because I really can't see what project file I'm saving in. So those are things to keep in mind, I guess. Alrighty then, so we have a cart. Now let's edit our table to suit what a cart would actually look like. Alright, so I'm going to go to the list that we created here, because I had, so there's a cart page here. In the cart page, we have an image for our product, the name of the product, the quantity, and the price, and the total. Okay, so no problem. Let's do that. Let's say image, name, quantity. Let's name the columns appropriate, in the appropriate manner. Now, be careful here when you click select all. Once you start editing, it's going to collapse everything. So make sure you are editing one at a time. Image. Here I'm just going to call it product. And this one will be quantity. And then this one will be amount. So quantity, or maybe price, let's call it price. Then we need one more for total and one more for action, to just in case we need to delete one of these guys. So 2 more columns we need here. Now here, if I click on properties, for as long as I've clicked on one of the elements of a table, I can go down to table here, and it will show me what number of rows and columns it has. As you can see, it has 3 rows, including the header. So that's 3 rows, and these table columns are 5. So if we need 2 more, then we need to put, say, 6 and 7. So let me click in here and just roll to 6 and 7. There we go. So we have 2 new columns, just like that. All right. Now, here we don't need more columns. We just need something to show that we have products. So I'll leave that be. Otherwise, I can always add and remove columns and rows, no problem in there. So here we have price, and then we have total. And then finally here we have action or something. Okay. So here, let me add an image. So I'm just going to remove what's in there, and then add element, go to components, where is that? And image, click. There we go, look at that, image. Now this has gone way overboard, so I can select the header and I'll give it some, now if you look at this here, it shows you what width. So if you want to be precise with the numbers, you can use that. So it's 180, something like that. So I'll click on this, and I can always add a very different image with properties and go to image, click on that. We are on products already, So no, actually we're on food. Let's go to products. Let's add that camera. Okay, so I can always change the width and height of this thing if maybe I don't want it this big. Maybe let's try 100 width and height and 100 again. I think that's more reasonable. So there we go. Cool. Same thing here. What I'll do here is I'll simply right click and copy the element, then come in here, remove all of that, right click and paste the element. So I'll select that, properties, and go back to these images thingy, click on that. Let's add some other products. There we go. That's different, at least. So here, product name, let's just say camera, and here watch. Quantity maybe 2, here maybe 3, and the price here, maybe this is $99, very cheap camera, and maybe I don't know, $23, doesn't really matter. Let's just put one quantity here so I don't have to do any calculations, right? Okay, so where are we at? Why is this doing the... Okay, I thought for some reason it was in the wrong space, but it's not. And then inside action here, I just want us to add a few buttons. So let's go add some buttons. So click here, add 2 buttons. Oh, okay, only one materialized. No problem, no problem. Actually, the problem here is, oh, actually there isn't any problem. So let me click edit there. Let me type the word edit. Let's add one more button, and this one. Actually, there is no edit here. You can always just delete this guy. Oh, look what I done did. Let me undo. There we go. Let me delete this one. For some reason, I can't edit it anymore. This is weird. Okay, what I would do is let me add the select none. Let me add the button outside this and click here to save remove, so I can type it. For some reason I can type it outside but not from the inside. Then I can just say cut element and paste it in here. Okay, so let's change its color, properties. Let's go background color. Remove should be reddish, so that seems about right. Right click again, copy element, and let's paste the element here. Alrighty then, so that's our cart right there. We may need a total down here, so let's add one more row actually. So I'm just gonna go to, where is this, properties. Let's go to table rows. So let me just change this to 4. Okay, so once I do that, there's a new row here, which is nice. Now I want this one to say total, like this, and then actually no, the total should be in here and not in there. So let's do total here, and right in here I will put a total 99. I know there's a 2 there at the end. 11. Hopefully that's the correct value. It doesn't really matter anyway. Then I can go to my properties again. There's font weight here where I can make it bold. There we go. Alrighty then. So great. Let's remove that number. Great. This, you can actually change the column span. Like from here, maybe we can do 1, 2, 3 column span. This one, 1, 2, 3. Let me select it. Go to properties. If you really want to be pedantic about these things. Where is this? I don't think I actually labeled where the spans are. Tragically not. Okay, I'll have to search for them then. Let's try here. Nope. Input. Where is this? Oh, table. Yes, I do have them. So column span here, let's change that to, let's increase it. Let's see what's going on. Right. So you see, as I increase the column span, I have to delete some of these. So if I remove this one, then it balances out a little bit more. Delete this one. Yep. So, yep, it actually works. So let me delete that last one again. Then increase the column span here by 1. That way they match this one there. Okay, so this becomes one big thing, and so you can do some experimentation there, but basically this is the basic idea. So let me save this as cart. Now I still don't trust this saving thing, so I'm just going to open a new tab before I close the other one and do open, and then try to open the cart page and see. As you can see, it's still the old cart for some reason. I need to fix that bug, so you can be assured I will fix it. So let's do save as instead, cart page 2. So let's save that, save. That way if I try to open cart page 2 now, it will have everything I need. Okay, awesomeness. So back to the original page, that's great. So what other page do we need here? We need the checkout page. This is where we enter our user details like the name, email, phone number, payment method, etc., etc. Okay, very good. So checkout page it is. Now for checkout page, I'm just going to do a save as I have done here, and then delete the table. So what I'll do is select the table. I'll keep going. I'll use the tree here. I want to select the actual table. So select this, which I think is the actual table, but it isn't. There's a div there. I want to select the table. So click on that and it's selected. Then I can go to edit and delete like this. So instead of cart, this is checkout. Checkout to like this. Okay, very good. So in the checkout, actually need a table there as well, right? But a different kind of table with different information. Do I need a table? No, actually not. What I need is some input fields. So here I want checkout. There's your name, email, phone, etc., etc. So I want a two-pair system here where I have the what you're buying and your details over here. So what I'll do is select this box here, not the checkout text, the container, and say add. I'll go to grids here. There's this grid type 1, so I'm gonna click on it. Boom. So this one just has two divs that have display flex inside a bigger div. So there's this div and this other one here. So in here we will add a table. So click there, go to tables. Let's add that table in there. Great. This other side, we want our input fields. Okay, so over here, we will say enter your details. So I'm going to go to components and add maybe an H2. The text isn't black. So while this is selected, I'll go to properties. I'll move my properties thingy back up. If you can't find it, just reset it. Just click reset properties panel. It will come back there swiftly. Let's add black as the text here. So we'll say enter your details. Enter your details. Let's add more. Let's say inputs. Inputs. I want to add an input field. Click. Let's add, actually we can simply duplicate this one a couple of times. And then this is where we're going to select what payment method we're going to use. So we will also need, instead of an input field. We'll need the checkbox. Wait a minute. I need a radio button, not a checkbox. But let's add checkbox anyway. So there we go. I want to edit this and say how you're going to pay by card. And if I duplicate this element, oh, wrong button, edit, duplicate. This other one I can say, oh, let me click to make sure I'm in edit mode. PayPal. Okay, let's increase, first of all, let me select these two. Let's increase the font size to 20. Okay, it seems only one is being edited. This is weird. I have to take a look at that. So 20, and then I want to change the display to block again. So where is that? Display, block. So let's put inline and back to block. Same thing here. Let's put inline and block. That way it fills up the entire space here. So card, PayPal. You choose one of these. Now, since these are checkboxes, this is not very convenient. So let's go to input. And here in the type, I want to change that to a radio button. Wait, what's happening? Oh no. Oh no, it cannot do this. It cannot do this. Okay, do not be feared. We'll change this in edit later on. Let's just give them the same name. Let's just go to name here and say payment underscore method. Okay, so let me remove that, put it here as well, and put that name there as well. Okay, so that they have the same name. When I do use the, oh, wait a minute, the reason it wasn't changing is if I need to select the actual, because this is a label actually. So unless I select the element itself in there, that checkbox. So it says label here, but I can right click and say select first child. So click, and as you can see, it has selected the input over there. So I can go to the input type and then change that to radio. Ah, look at that. It goes to submit instead. Oh, that's crazy. Let's go back to checkbox. For some reason, checkbox and the other one don't work. So not to stress, let me click that to delete. Let me delete that again. Select this and right click and duplicate. Okay, let's change that back to PayPal. We'll edit that in the final thing, so not to be fiery there. But we may need a label before this. So let me select the mother or the main thing, click add, and let's add components. Let's add maybe an H3 somewhere. Let me move it up and move it up again. So here we'll say payment method. Okay, there we go. So it seems this text align is centered. So let's go text align left. Okay, so there we go. Things are on the left now. Now here we want to change that label to your name. There we go. Now we can always increase the width of this guy. Oops, where is the width thingy here? It's always on 100%, right? Let me leave it there. Okay, so there we go, on 100%. Let me duplicate this. Now make sure you select the container, not the label or the input. Select the container, right click and duplicate. So it goes down here. Now we have to move it up. Right click again, move it up, making sure that you are selecting the container that contains both the label and the input. So here, let's do your email. Okay, then we also need the phone number. So duplicate, duplicate. So email, name, email, phone number, and billing address. So those are the things we need. Now let me select this, shift select those, right click, move up, right click again, move up, right click one more time, move up. Okay, so email, delivery address, what else remains? Delivery address and phone number. So let's say phone number, delivery address. Okay, so there we go. Let me close that tree. Okay, so I can do a preview here just to see what I'm working with. And this is it. So checkout page. This is where I'll have to see the stuff that I've bought. And here, where it requires me. Oh, I need a next page button here as well. So select the main thing, add element, add button. And let's edit it and say continue, like this. Okay, continue. Maybe let me have it float to the other side. So let's do float. Where is float here? Float, float right. Okay, there we go. Continue. Very cool. I can enlarge this button if I like. Usually these buttons should be big. Go to padding and let's add more of that padding, yeah? Up to 15 pixels, like so. Okay, great. Now with that in mind, let's go to this part here. And we don't need to see images here. We just need to see the product name and the quantity and amount. And then the total here. Okay, so there we go. $99, $23, quantity one, amount same as there, 99, 23, and then here we have maybe this is a watch and this one is a camera. Okay, so at least you have an idea of what's going on, and then I'll click here, go to the table thingy again. So let's add more rows, one more. So just click to add one more, and right here I will do total, and then put our total here. I don't remember, was it 135 or something? I don't know, 132. I think 132. Let's make sure it's bold. Alright. Cool. So you enter your details, your cart. If you want, you can say back to cart from here. So I'll select this thing, add a button, yeah, button. You can say back, let's put underscores, since we can't put back to cart if you want to. Okay, now I can move this up instead so that it's here, and maybe have it float, shall we? But let's see. If I go to float, where is float? Float left. Not very good at this. Let's try display block. So from inline I'll put display block. Doesn't seem to change anything. Let me select the table. I want to use the tree here to make sure I don't miss something. So I'll select, click here, just table. There is the table. Let's try display block. I don't know what display the table has. Let's try inline, let's try block. So it seems it already has that. So let's just remove the float, say none. Okay. Alrighty then. Cool. This is looking great. So let's save this as. This one is the checkout. Okay. Save. Oh, but why is the table so weird now? Oh boy, I guess it has a different display than what I have done here. Interesting. Good. Let me go to the tree. Let's try and select parent here. We have the table, and let me go to properties and just put, let's go to width here. Width, let's put 100% pixel percent. Okay, it doesn't seem to have bothered. Let's go to the table head. Let's try the same thing. 100 pixel percent. Doesn't change anything, so close that. So I guess it's with the display. I think display should be table or something. I don't know. Let's go select parent, which is the table. Let's try here. It says display block, right? Let me just delete that part. Yeah, there we go. And it's back to normal. So close that, close that. Alrighty then. So this looks great. Back to cart, continue shopping, checkout page. Okay, so let's save. Save. Let me go back here and try to open it on a separate page just to see if everything is good. And yep, it did save indeed, and everything is great. So we have most of the pages we need here for the checkout. We will need a summary, but the summary is basically just displaying the same information that's here. So maybe we can do that in a table, I'm not sure. But let's do more important things like the login and sign up pages. Let's see here. So we have the cart page, we have the checkout page, just not the summary page. We need a little more stuff. So these are done. What we need is the sign up and login. So these will be much easier to do. So let's do that. Yeah, and then once we are done with this, then it means we just need the admin page and the product ad page and the orders page. So it may look like it's a lot, but not really. We're going to breeze through these guys. So let's do this sign up and login over there. All right, and by the way, these things are all responsive. So if I click on preview page here and go to preview page, this is the preview page. I can go to more tools and responsive design view. And as you can see, it is responsive. So at a certain point, it just squeezes too much and it goes down here. Now to determine where this happens, you just set the minimum width for each one of these guys, for each one of these. So if the minimum width is higher than what's here, then they'll break up a bit earlier. So that's all you need to do. You can go, let's see here. If I select the column like this, let's go to the tree, select parent, no parent. Okay, great. Let's select this one. Select the parent, select parent, select parent. Okay, that looks about right. There's an H1, and then there's this div that holds everything, and then this one, which holds two identical divs in there. So that's the one right there. But let's select one child in there, like this div on this one side only. If I go to width here, you will see that the minimum width is 300 pixels. So if I change that to 500 pixels, then things will change. I can also select this other one here and do exactly the same. Let's change that to 500 pixels. Okay. And now if I use my responsive design view, you see that it breaks up a bit earlier than previously, as you can see here. So that's all you need to do for that responsive view thingy. So let me save this just to be sure it's saved. Let me try and reopen it again. All right, and let's see if the responsive view actually works. Yes, it works as intended. Alrighty then, now let's do our sign up and login pages. Now those pages, I don't want to see my header and footer, so they're going to be completely isolated. So I'll just want to start a new page. So new page, just refresh the page to start that. So I'll click add element. This time I want an empty as well, but this one called background. So it fits the entire background. And then what I'll do is I just want to add an image. So let's go to image. I want to add a background image to this. So let's go to maybe building. Now this is up to you. What you want to add here could be food. I don't know. It's entirely up to you what you want to add here. Let's try this one. This looks nice and pretty. But what we're going to do is increase the size, background size to 100%. Yep. Make sure background has no repeat. Doesn't look like it's big enough. Let's try this one. A little paler. Oh, these babies are not so good for... The resolution of some of these images is quite low. So this is the problem. To use them as entire backgrounds might be an issue. Okay, let's try this one. This looks okay. So what I want to do now is add a div in between here. So I'll click on, make sure it's selected, the div. Let's go to grids and let's select grid type 2. Now this one has just one grid in the center. Actually, maybe this might not be the right thing to do. Let me undo. What I want, let me add instead an empty form because I want it to be a form. So there we go. That's a form. Let me increase the height like so. Let's add some top margin. So top margin here, let's increase it a little bit. So reached 30, I don't see anything. That's because the one inside has no content. So let's select its parent, go to padding, just add 1 pixel of padding. That's good enough to separate the two. Okay, so we have a thingy here. Now I want to add component image. Or maybe image is useless because we have another image behind here. You know, the design of these things is entirely up to you. Let's go to border radius. I want to put the border radius at 50%. Then let's do text align center. Okay. And then let's select this. Let's add a different image just for the heck of it. So let's go to people. Let's add a different person. I'm going to add h1 tag. Just call this one login. And then what do? Add some inputs. So let's go to inputs. Add that one input. We can always duplicate it. So we'll say we want to actually let's use the sign up. So this one is username. I want to select the input itself, go to width and put 100%. Weird. I want to move this one a bit. Oh, there we go. So it can be moved. Great. And so this username, select the main thing, duplicate it, and then we say email, and then duplicate this again, and then password. All right, so username, email, password. Let's change that to sign up. Very nice. Then finally, let's add a button. There we go. So let's add more padding to this. Let's give it a nice 15 pixel padding, and let's say create account. Let's put that underscore there. Let's go border radius and go crazy. Let's put 30. All right, very nice. Now this, the main form, I want to add padding that's a little bit bigger than this. Yeah, maybe 20 is enough. And also height, I want to remove that. That way it matches the actual height, which is nice. Let's add some border radius to it as well. Border radius, let's do 20 pixels, like so. We can add a little bit of a drop shadow as well to make it look nice. So let's put 30 as always, and let's make it lighter. Very cool. There we go. Now if you don't like this outline showing on these guys, you can click and remove the background color. That's all you need to do. Yeah, maybe that would be a good idea. Let me select this one, go to padding. Let me add 1M of padding here, same as this one, 1M, same as that one, 1M. Big things just look better. There we go. So there it is. Now if you want, this can be transparent a little bit. So if you look at the background color here, you can actually add some transparency like so, which makes it look very, very nice, like so. Alrighty then. So very nice login, a sign up page there. Okay, so with this in mind, maybe the border radius is a little bit too much. Let's go to 10 pixels. Yes, very good indeed. Okay, so let's save this one as ecom sign up page and save. Awesomeness. Now of course we just need to change this to login, maybe put a different image, and then we are in the login page. Now this could be logos instead, for example. What logo did we use? Maybe this one. We could use that instead. So login, and on the login we don't need the username, so let's select that with its parent, delete. So now we have email and password, and then here we just say login like this, and that's it. We have our login page. You can also change the background image. Maybe you want a different image for the login page. Let's just go to buildings and such. Let's see what we got. Some of these are a bit extreme, so which ones are nice? Maybe this one over here, though it has no relation to what we are doing, but who cares? I'm just trying to show you that we can do this actually. So let's save this one as a login page and save. Awesomeness. Now I didn't actually check. I've opened a different instance of this. Just open, let's go to sign up page, and there we go. We can preview the sign up page so that we see how nice it looks. Very cool. And then let's open also login page, and there it is. So this is just to show that this thing saved successfully. Very nice. Okay, so that does our login and sign up pages. So all this up to here is done. All this up to there is done, and also from here to there is done. So what we remain with is the admin page, products and orders, and so on and so forth. Very good. So before we deal with the admin page itself, because the admin page actually have something already in here that's pre-made, so we're just going to drop that in there. So don't worry about trying to design that from scratch. So what we want to do is, let's deal with the add products page. It seems more apt. Okay, great. So let's deal with that. Then we can add an admin page. Okay, so let's start a new page again. We start a new page. And here all I want is a form. So add empty form. Very cool. Let's move the form like so. And then let's add an h1 tag. Components, h1. Let's say add product. Yes. So with that, all we need now are inputs. So when we add a product, what's there? We have an image, we have a name, description, and price and quantity. So these are literal inputs except the image. So what we do is let's start with the image. And I'm going to do that by adding, what to do here? Let me add an empty div though, so I can isolate it from the rest. Let's remove that width and the height as well. So inside that, while it's still selected, I'll go to components, add image. This will be the image of whatever it is we're adding. Let me, I bet that's large enough to see. So I'll select this text align center. Then inside that, I will add inside inputs. There is a fire input, so I'll add that there. Okay. What to do here? I want this to go all the way. So maybe this, I'm going to say display block. Then let's do the width 100%. Let's put that there. That way it goes all the way. Very nice. So browse, blah, blah, blah. Great. Or maybe if I don't give it a width, since it's display block, I can do margin auto by clicking that and it will go to the center. Okay, good. This, let's give it a bit of rounding. So let's do border radius of maybe 10 pixels, that kind of thing. Let me select it, select an image. Let's put an image that kind of looks like a product. What haven't we used here? Does it really matter? Not very appetizing. I want something. You know, you can spend all day just trying to add the right image. Images are very important. So let's remove that background so that we have that. Oof, that looks very different now. Yeah, let's try that. Anyway, the text here must be black. So let's add black text. That doesn't work. Let's change that to black. Okay, that way we can see things. Alrighty then. Now from here, we can just add the remaining inputs. So all I need is to add one file input. Now we also have this type where the text is on top instead of on the side, like this input here. The label is at the top, depending on what you like. So there's name, description, and price. But I tend to like the other one because it's better with space. So here I'll just say product name. All right. Then I will move this guy like so. Product name. Of course, let's duplicate that. Product name. What else are we dealing with here? Description, price. Okay. Let's do price and quantity. Very good. Description, price, quantity. Let me see if I can actually convince this input to be a number. So text input type number, and there we go. I can actually add a value here to start with, like 0.00 or 1100. Quantity here, I can put an original value of 1. Yep. The rest, no need. So let's leave that there. Also, quantity is a number. So let's put number there. Then let me add a button. So components, button. So here we can put console as well. So cancel. And then we can also add one for add product. So we say add, or say create. So with this one, I can change the background color as well. Yeah, something like more reddish. This one is console, so let's give it some kind of gray. Let's go down to the grays here. Gray area. Let me float this one to the other side. So float right. Okie dokie. This is looking good. Let me move this back a little. So add product. There we go. Let's give it a, it does have a border radius, does it? Just for the fun of it. Let's add some shadowing. Let's add 30. And let's make it lighter. Okay, there we go. So add product. Select the big one. I want margin on the top to be bigger, so let's try 30. Doesn't seem to move. That's because the parent doesn't have anything, but that's fine. So let's do a save as, or a save rather, because we haven't saved yet. So we say ecom add product page. Save. Very nice. Okay, so with this we have our add product. All right, so far so good. What remains is the admin page, which we are going to do now. Now, before we move to the admin section, let me show you how to add an icon if you want to add icons anywhere. So let's say maybe add product here. You want to add an icon somewhere, maybe in here. What we can do is click on add element and go to icons, and it doesn't really matter which one you choose. So just choose one of these guys, like so. So let me try and put this text align in the center, maybe to make it look better. So then I can click on the icon, and I can remove the font size here, remove it. That way it will use the font size of the parent. That way I can adjust the font size of the parent to adjust the icon. And then I'll go to down here where there's icon. So down below this image thing is here, there's icon here, and there's these icons by Bootstrap that you can get. So for example, I can search for one if I want product. Doesn't seem like, let's try bag. Okay, so there it is. At least maybe this bag with a thingy there. A love thing. Now, if you do want to increase the font size just for the icon, you can do so by just giving it whatever value you would like. Then you can also change its color. Now, I'd rather change the color of the parent, because then when I do that, everything changes together, like so. Something like that. Add product. Okay. That seems to work fine. Now it seems our container is a little bit smaller now, so let me move that like so and increase the size. Alrighty then. So add product, there we go. Let's save this. Shave. Looks like it was shaved successfully. Let's try and open that again, and there it is. So everything was saved accordingly to plan. So let me refresh the page. Now we go to the admin section. Now for the admin section, if I just click add over here and then I go to admins, there is one admin here. I can just click. Now I will add more than one admin here and probably put images. I will definitely put images on them. So if you click there, there's this admin page that comes up, and it's more than enough really. The only thing is we have a users table here. We can also add some extra stuff here, but we don't need to add that here. We can simply replicate this when we are creating our PHP and then just change the text in there to add what we want. But maybe here, for the sake of editing, we can just add one more of these, and then let's see here. Let me go to the tree. We can just add one more table for the orders, since really that's the important part. So there's orders page here, so we can add, we can keep track or keep this information there. Okay, so let me go back here. Select parent, select parent. I want to find the table in here. So I'll click here, table, found. And where is the table? Let me select the parent of the table. So there's a div that holds the, oh wait, no. There's no div that holds the table. So just the table. So if I select the table, I can duplicate that thing. So just click on edit and just say duplicate. Now I want to duplicate the user's label as well. So I'll shift select that and then say duplicate. And there we go. So we have both of those, even though it duplicates in the wrong order. But I can just right click on users, say move up, and there we go. And change that to orders, like that. Okay, so let's look at the content. Let me close that tree. Let me close this as well, since really here I'm just typing. Now orders don't have images. Excuse me. So we're going to delete that and that as well. This is the thing I've just realized now. Oh no, I actually can. I thought I couldn't delete something in the middle here. So I can actually do that. But before I delete that, let me see what I need, how many columns I need. So let's go ahead and say order number there. So there's name, email, and phone. So let's try and fix that. So name here, let's try name, and then email, and then the phone. So that's the order number here. So I'll just say no, order number, yes. Name, email, this is the customer name. Excuse me. So just say, I think we'll just call them customer, or customer name, like that. Email, phone, address, delivery address, and what else are we lacking? So delivery address should actually be last, but then we have phone, we have amount. Now that paid and cancelled is a yes or no, whether it was paid or it was cancelled, etc, etc. Now we shouldn't be able to delete orders, so let's remove the delete thing because we have to keep those records. So I'm going to remove these buttons over here. We don't need y'all. So instead of delivery address, this one will be amount. Wait, what else? Amount, paid, cancelled. Okay, so it seems enough. No, not really. Amount, paid, and then cancelled. Or maybe instead of it could be paid and cancelled at the same time. So let's just put both. There's no harm in that. cancelled. Now some of these had fixed width, so you just have to check to make sure. Let's go to width. You remove the width that's fixed there. Which one had this? I think it was the second last. Yeah, this one. So I'm just gonna close that. Yeah, click to cancel. Then of course I want one more column. So I'm just going to go to where it says table and add one more column to make it 8. So this final column here is going to be delivery address. Let me just paste since I had copied it. Okay, very, very good. So on the page we'll say yes, here we'll say yes, cancelled no, and this one no. Delivery address, I have no delivery addresses in mind. So I'll just put my hometown. Okay, there we go. So amount here, let's try the amounts we had put in the other thingy. Let's try maybe the whole order is maybe $200, and this one maybe could be, I don't know, $300. Phone number, you can put your phone number here. I don't know what phone numbers are used in different locations. And then we'll put an email address. I should have just copied those emails that were there. Like so. Close that, we don't need you. Customer, Mary, Joe, Jacob Doe. Okay, so this is probably how orders are going to look like. Yeah. And then now the thing is, this is the overview of the order. So let's say somebody makes one order, they will have multiple items in that order. But we need to be able to view the entire order once we click on it. So here we should be able to click the entire row, and then it will take us to the view of the whole order, the individual items that they actually bought. But that's also just a table. So a table with quantity, description, and amount. So that's easy to make, to replicate like this. So we're going to leave that out, but this is the admin section, yes. And these we'll use to put statistics as needed. This is for the users section, so this is fine. There's previous and next for pagination, of course. I don't know if we're going to use this though, but yeah, this is fine. So let me save this as the save as ecom admin page, like that, and hit save. So even these icons here were created the same way I had mentioned with icons. You click on properties. In case you want to change the icon, just click here and then click on the icon itself. Then you can search for an icon. Now each time you refresh this, it brings up a random set of icons. So any of these that you click will be added there, and then of course you can also search there for whichever one you want. Alrighty then. Okay, so we are done with all of these guys. Let's see what's remaining. The summary page, of course. Also, it's nice to put icons on the so I have these two open pages, so I can always open the other one to show me whether I have really saved the other one, because I'm very paranoid about saving here. I don't want to lose work. Okay, this is great. Let me open the the checkout page, right? Here we have card and PayPal. Let's just put some icons for niceness. So I'll click on this and click on add elements and go to icons and put people icon right there. Very cool. And I'll click on that. Actually in here, let me add one more. There we go. Okay, so let me go to the icon section here. Icon, PayPal. I think there is a PayPal icon, that one right there. Click. There's also a card icon. Let's put that just so for niceness. Yeah, credit card. Maybe it's this one, like this. Yes. Then we can click on the main label and change its coloring to match what we want to see. So maybe that color, whatever that color is. Let me put the same color here. All right. Let me put some margin. So margin left. Let's increase that. Oh, it's in M's, so that's why it's doing that. You can put it in pixels for finer grain control. Then if I select these two guys, let's see if I put display flex for a second. Okay, actually that works. And then we say align content center. Oh, no, actually it's align items center. There we go. Same thing here, display flex. Align items center. That looks much better. Okay, now these guys in here, like the check mark itself, if I select it, let me try and right click and say select first child. I can go to scale and scale it. Let's see here. If I scale it to 2, it becomes really big. Let's do 1.5 and select this one as well. Kind of hard to select, but let's do that. Let's see. It's easier to select now, right? Let me right click, select first child. Let's do the scale 1.5 so that they are bigger. When you tick them, they'll look much bigger. But also, let me do again, select first child. Let's put some margin on the right side. So margin right, 1 M, like that. That's cool. Select first child and margin right, 1 M. Okay, looking great. Let's save this guy. Shave. Steve. So even on the checkout here, we can do the same thing. We can add a basket or something, an icon or whatever. Let me come back here and try this. Let me open the checkout page once more, and the icons are there. All right, exciting stuff. So far so good. The only thing that's remaining is the summary. Now the summary will show the checkout and actually to show exactly what's here. The only difference is that these, instead of input boxes, will be actual text divs, so that the data is permanent. It cannot be edited, just for the summary. Yeah. So maybe for some reason, let's do a save as here. So what I'm going to do is edit this, enter your details. Instead of enter your details, it's going to be confirm details. So say confirm your details. Okay. Your name, your email, phone number, blah, blah, blah. I'll leave this as it is, and then this one will be summary. And then here it's going to be pay now. In case you want to go back to the cart, you can still go back. So I'll leave that as it is. And there we go. Everything is awesomeness. Now let me change the color of this one just so it looks different. The user knows they're not repeating themselves here. They are trying to actually pay. Maybe green. Let's see. Red is more pay. Pay now. Awesome. Summary. Pay. These will have to change a little bit, but for now this is okay. So let's do save as. Instead of checkout, this one is summary page. And save. Awesomeness. Okay, so with that in mind, we have successfully finished everything in here. So we have the checkout page, summary page, cart page, orders page, image, add product page. The edit and delete can be extracted from this very page, so that's fine. Admin page, home page and shop page. We have login and sign up, and then the main. So everything has been done here, which is very, very good. Alrighty then. So in the next video, we're going to make all this functional with PHP. So we're going to use the MVC framework that we created in a previous video. So if you haven't seen that video, link is in the description. Watch that video so that you understand the MVC framework we're going to use. That way it's easier to understand what we are doing when adding our PHP. So all this is meant to speed your workflow so you don't always have to start from scratch. Oh, wait a second before we go. I almost forgot you have to export these things. So to export any of these pages, just go to the file menu and click download. So click on download like that. Export will complete, file download will start. So there it is right there. So it gives you a zip file, a zip folder. So let's try and open that zip folder. I'm going to try and extract it to the folder that it has given me. And inside the folder, this is what you see. You see an index.html page, a readme.txt. This is just telling you that this content is free for personal and commercial use. So free to do whatever you want. There's assets here. There's a CSS folder for all the CSS we have created. It creates the CSS for you in a very nice and neat way. Let me try and see that, and there it is. So it puts all the styles that you were adding into a well-packaged thing, and then creates classes like class 17, class 18, because it doesn't know what to really name them. So you can rename these classes if you want, but it's unnecessary though. Then let's go back here, assets. Then all the images you used in your project are here, so that everything opens just nicely, and the font that is there. So in case you want to change the font that is being used here, you change that from the CSS. So just put the font in the fonts folder, and then right here where it says, you can leave the font name as Open Sans, whether it's Open Sans or not. All you have to make sure is you put the correct file name of your font here. That's all, and you make sure it's in the fonts folder where this very file is, and it's going to replace you don't have to change anything else, just the name of the actual file inside the fonts folder here. Okay, so with that, if I now try to open this HTML page, you will see that this is what it is. Everything I was creating there is now packaged as an HTML page. Awesomeness. So that's how you export all these pages. So you can go through each and every page, click File, Download, and that's it. Alrighty then, so hope you've learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.